My name is Sean Crenshaw, and today I'm going to talk about establishing baseline requirements for adopting a real-time gym occupancy system at Virginia Tech. To start, I'd like to show this YouTube video which portrays the problem that we are trying to solve. So from past experience, our group has realized that the gym starts getting crowded around 5 p.m. So we decided to get this footage around 6 p.m. on a Monday. And as you saw, the basketball courts were full. There were several runners on the track, which can clog up the track while you're trying to get your run in. And also the weightlifting room was packed. If you want to use a specific piece of equipment in the weightlifting room, you can be waiting as long as 10 minutes just to use that specific piece of equipment. So the methods that we use to conduct our research include the following 3 tasks. So when it comes to the potential systems, it's broken down into 2 parts: gathering information and displaying information. For gathering information, we have several options to choose from. The first one is a check-in and check-out system. This would use the current system that the gyms have of swiping hokey passports and using an estimated time of about an hour to keep track of how many people are at the gym. The next system is an infrared system, specifically ERISIS. This would be several sensors lined up next to the check-in spot at the gyms and would track the motion of people going into the gym and out of the gym to keep track of how many people are there. Next, we have a GPS location-based system that would be using the gym patrons' cell phones to keep track of who's at the gym at that moment. And lastly, we have video recognition technology that would require video surveillance across all the rooms of the gyms to see how many people are there and then display that to the user. So current trends that we've spotted at the gyms at Virginia Tech include the large population on campus, which is about 30,000 students, and also the fact that we have been recognized as the most fit campus in the past year. This means that there are a lot of students going to the gym to stay healthy. And lastly, we realize that students don't like to get up early, so that is why gyms start to get crowded later in the day. When it comes to student attitudes, we realize that we need to talk to as many students as we can to see how they feel about the current gym situation. So we created a survey and distributed it to some users to see how they feel. And then we also thought about the own interactions that we've had with the gyms at Virginia Tech, as well as we talked with our friends to see the experiences that they've had and compared them to our own experiences.
So after conducting some research of our own, as well as some data we collected via surveys and interactions with our friends and other gym users, we came up with some results that helped us conclude the system that we needed to go with for our gym occupancy system. So for our surveys, we received a total of 35 responses, all from Virginia Tech students. And through research, we analyzed the pros and cons of the various systems we presented earlier. And particularly, we focused on cost, as well as a system that requires minimum user input, and we want the most accurate data possible. So here's the results from our surveys. The first question asking which facility these students use most often. Overwhelmingly, we can tell that one facility, McComas Hall, was used more than the others. We asked which were the deciding factors that would help decide which facility users would use. Even though location and quality facility took the forerunning for this question, crowdedness of facility came close in 3rd place, which again exemplifies how important it is for users to decide which facility they want to use. Next, we asked the users what time they tend to work out, and you can tell that 4 to 6 p.m. in the evening overwhelmingly took the forerunning on this question, showing that at this time there would be a need for a system. The most important question and result that came out of our surveys was whether or not the users would find a system that portrays crowdedness at a gym. And overwhelmingly, out of the 35 individuals that we spoke with, 77% agreed that it would be extremely useful to have a system that portrayed this information. And finally, of the individuals who filled out our survey that used non-Virginia Tech facilities to work out, all the users said at the very minimum they would consider using our system if it did portray occupancy at a given time. So to conclude, we, after research and results from our surveys, we determined that Virginia Tech students are very in favor of a system that would portray real-time gym occupancy here at Virginia Tech. We realized that our system is simple enough that we could actually go about a cross-platform application, which will allow users to access our system both on their mobile devices as well as on their laptops. And finally, our data collecting system that we decided to go with uses the Orisys infrared technology. The reason for this is it is simple. It would be located at the entrance of the facility and nowhere else, while the alternatives like the video recognition technology would require cameras in every single room, which would cost more as well as require retrieving information from multiple endpoints. The GPS location system would require the users to agree to allow their location to be used by our system, and the check-in check-out system would prove to be inaccurate due to the fact gym patrons only check in, which would mean we'd have to estimate an average workout time for an individual, meaning our results should be less accurate. And we have a little clip that displays how the Orisys infrared technology works. As you can see from this video, it uses two different sensors, and once it detects an object, it determines whether or not the individual crosses both the up and down lines, determining whether or not they are entering or exiting. And live counts determine how accurate this system is. And due to the fact it only requires one location, it will be very cheap and will not require any interaction from either the facility or the faculty at Virginia Tech, as well as the users of Virginia Tech fitness facilities.
Let's go.
So from all the information provided here, we hope you support us in convincing Virginia Tech that a real-time occupancy system for Virginia Tech's fitness facilities would be in fact beneficial to both the faculty and users of